At some point, exhaustion became a badge of honor, but it was never meant to be. I still remember the first time somebody praised me for working late. It wasn't for what I had achieved. It wasn't for the clarity I'd created. It was simply the fact that I was still at my desk at 8 p.m. And I carried that like a medal, like I'd finally earned the right to be seen as a real leader. But looking back, that moment wasn't a breakthrough. It was the beginning of a trap. Because that quiet praise, it was a signal that leadership wasn't about clarity or culture anymore. It was about output, sacrifice, endurance. And the more I pushed myself, the more I was applauded for it. Not because it was sustainable, but because it was visible. And that's how overwork culture gets in. Not all at once, but through subtle signals that say, you're only valuable if you're exhausted. And you prove your care by giving everything away. And if you burn out quietly, well, someone else will take your place. So today, I want to name that pattern and walk through 3 habits I've had to unlearn, not just to survive, but to lead with clarity and intention again. These aren't steps, they're stories. And if one of them feels familiar, I hope you'll see yourself in what comes next. First, the habit of performance, mistaking visibility for value. It starts subtly. You post about the late night, you mention the overflowing inbox, you quietly compete to be the busiest in the room, and you start to believe the lie. If I'm not visibly working myself to the edge, people will think I'm not doing enough. We confuse being seen with being useful. But here's the truth I've had to unlearn. Busy isn't the same as valuable, and tired isn't proof you're doing the right work. Real leadership isn't how long you stay, it's how clearly you move, how intentionally you design. Because when your impact is tied to your exhaustion, rest starts to feel like failure. And that's when you know the system isn't just broken, it's rewarding the very thing that's burning you out. Second is the habit of sacrifice, equating overwork with care. And even if visibility doesn't get you, sacrifice will. Because in schools, especially in leadership, we're quietly taught that giving everything is the highest form of care. You skip lunch, you answer your emails while parenting, you hold space for everyone else's crises without ever acknowledging your own. And people say, "You're amazing, you're so committed." But what they don't see is that you're slowly disappearing from your own life. This isn't leadership, it's martyrdom with a calendar. The truth, caring doesn't mean collapsing. You don't need to burn yourself out to prove you care. In fact, the more grounded you are, the more capacity you build for the people you lead. Third is the habit of endurance, treating resilience like the goal. Now, here's the one that got me. Even when I started protecting my time, even when I stopped saying yes to everything, I still carried this mindset. I just need to bounce back faster. But that's not the job. I mean, resilience is important, but it's not the end game. If the system is burning people out, then asking them to bounce back from that over and over again, it isn't strength, it's surrender. You're not here to survive the system, you're here to redesign it. Real leadership isn't about what you can endure, it's about what you can refuse to normalize. That might mean protecting thinking time, saying no more often, or just finally choosing to value your well-being as much as your output. So if you're carrying the weight of overwork right now, this is not a call to do more. It's a call to remember this. You're not here to be the last one out. You're not here to prove your value through exhaustion. And you're not here to hold up a system that quietly celebrates burnout. Work isn't your worth, and tired isn't your legacy. We need a different rhythm, a slower one, a clearer one, a human one. And we don't build that by pushing harder, we build it by stepping out of the loop and showing others how. Now, this is exactly the kind of thing we'll unpack together in the Professional Wellness Workshop, a free space for school leaders who want to lead with energy, intention, and longevity. There's a link below, and I'd love to see you there, so please register. And when you do register, I'll send you an advanced copy of my new book, Culture of Excellence: The Path to Empowered Teaching, Inspired Learning, and Intentional Leadership. Now, one more thing. I'd love to know, When did you realize overwork was being glorified, and how did you start to step away from it? Drop a comment or share this with someone who might need permission to stop proving and to start protecting what matters. Because we weren't meant to be carried by the work. We were meant to carry something forward together. I look forward to seeing you in the workshop.